Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Matt Bernier are kicking off the Pick 5 at Santa Anita on Sunday with the DRFBets race of the day, the $100,000 Tiznow Stakes for Calbreds going a 2-turn mile. You can bet this race and the card with a DRFBets account. When you sign up at bets.drf.com, you immediately double your action. You bet 100, you get 100 as a sign-up bonus. Let's meet the field for the Tiznow, and I want to remind everybody you can access free formulator past performances for the race on the Race of the Day event page at drf.com. Download them and handicap along with us. We'll take the field in post position order, beginning with the number 1, King Abner. I like this turf to dirt move with King Abner because the last time he raced on dirt, yes, I realize it was Los Alamitos, but he went fast early, he went fast late, and he beat a couple of next out winners.
Yeah, he did. The runner-up Mercer Island came back, won next out with an 87. Sheer Flattery next out winner with a 92. And even the fourth place finisher came back and earned a 93 in his next start. The other thing that I like about King Abner is he's gone long on dirt twice in his life, and he has victories of 2.5 lengths and 7.25 lengths. Admittedly, that run at Del Mar, he walked the dog on the front end and had plenty left in reserve. These last 2 races on turf, I don't think either of them were poor. I just think he ran into a couple of horses that perhaps are a little bit better than he is on that surface. Get him back to this, maybe at face value, he's a little bit light on figs, but I think there's upside here. I like him.
But you're absolutely right that it appears that Phil D'Amato has found this horse's whole card, and that is 2-turn racing on the dirt where he can utilize his natural early speed. And we've got a D'Amato formulator factor over the past 3 years, horses aged 4 and up, moving from turf to dirt in route races off a 31 to 44-day layoff, 27% winners, a $3.12 ROI. You'll know King Abner early, as we see from the Timeform US Pace Projector. The main sort of fly in the ointment there is that the 3-horse Surfing Star, well, he's found himself going 2 turns on the dirt, and he hasn't been headed in either one of those races.
You know, the curious thing for me, or the interesting thing here anyway, is, you know, you've got to go through and you handicap the pace projector. And I look at that and I say, you're down on the inside, you're Tyler Bays. You absolutely are going to hold your position. You're going to go and be forward. If you're Flavien Prat and the connections here for Surfing Star, do you look at it and say, well, we're the best horse. We're probably going to be able to sit off. He has shown that he can sit. He did that in his career debut. Maybe they're going to be more content sitting just off the flank, applying mild pace pressure, and then trying to take this thing over. If that's the case, I think King Abner can get brave.
We'll get to Surfing Star in a minute, but the number 2, Unusually Green, who we see last on the pace projector, is hoping for all-out pace warfare between the 1 and the 3 because he is a confirmed closer. There's only raced once on dirt previously, and that was back in 2015. Claimed for $32,000 4 starts back. He won for $62,500 in his 2 starts back on the turf. I'm not really sure if he's a dirt horse, but this barn has done good work with these sort of situations in the past. Past 2 years, trainer Jonathan Wong with horses ages 4 and up, moving from turf to dirt, 6 for 13, 11 of 13 on the board, and a $2.90 ROI. I wonder if this horse really classes up. I think he needs a little bit of help up front, but he's been an honest horse throughout his entire career.
That's probably the best way to put it. He's blue collar. He's honest. He shows up and he runs. You take a look at that career box, 54 starts, 7 wins, 23 other minor awards. But the big problem is I just don't think he's a main track type. And also this distance, I think this is probably a little bit on the sharp side for him. I think he's more of a 1 mile and an 1/8 type when it's all said and done, but again, on a different surface.
Surfing Star blew away his last 2 fields, going 2 turns at Santa Anita. He beat 2 next out winners in his most recent race. He's got all of the figs, and he's going to be a deserving favorite in this race. I am very concerned about the layoff. I don't think you put sharp horses away. This horse has not raced since November the 4th. We see a 16-day gap between opening day at Santa Anita and January the 11th. We see a big gap between the 2nd and 3rd most recent workouts on the page, and I wonder how Surfing Star's doing coming into this race.
Yeah, and it's also worth noting he was entered in another race at the beginning of February and was scratched out of there. A trainer scratch, not a vet scratch, but still something that maybe you want to keep an eye on. That could have easily been because of weather. Who knows? But you do look at this situation, and you're right. He's blown the doors off these fields in each of the past 2, only 2 times going 2 turns. Admittedly, that field 2 starts back, okay, decent enough. Avanti Bello, we know what he's capable of. And I know you've had some decent runners come out of that most recent heat. I'm not sold on it. I don't know how much running there was going on from behind. You go back and watch that tape. Surfing Star finished really well, But I look and see some of these other horses floundering back there, just kind of lollygagging around. I don't know how good that field actually was, and I think he's going to have to deal with a different dynamic this time around.
The number 4 is Edwards Going Left, and I think you could easily make the argument that he's the class of this race, second in the Grade 1 Malibu in 2017, and I thought he was going to go on to do some good things after that, and what do I know? He was gone 1 for 8 since, and you have to wonder if maybe Edwards Going Left is just getting a little bit long in the tooth at the age of 5. I thought he did some good things last time out, dropped in to an optional $80,000 claimer. I thought the rail was good at Santa Anita that day. Edwards Going Left attacked 3 wide into the stretch. Axeman made the lead in the rail from the start, and Edwards Going Left just couldn't catch favored Axeman that day. Now, they've been reluctant to rout him for most of his career. He's only tried 2 turns once. He ran okay at Los Al that day, but was the beaten 4 to 5 favorite. I think it can work out a trip. I looked at the Clocker report that is on DRF.com and should be accessed by serious racing fans, and they didn't love his most recent workout, but I think he can trip out behind the 2 speeds.
I think a good trip is coming. The problem is, this is just my opinion, I think he's lost something considerably off the fastball.
Fair.
And you go back and you watch that Cal Cup sprint. I recognize there wasn't a lot of pace that day, but he's developed a little bit of a bad habit of not braking very alertly, and usually that's a sign of a horse going the wrong way. I also don't like that they put blinkers on him, trying to wake him up, trying to get him into it earlier. And even if he was in razor sharp form, I personally don't love him going 2 turns. There's a reason I think they've only done it once. And you brought up that Los Al race. We'll get the shades of victory here in a minute. I mean, you want to talk about B squared and Edwards Going Left, you got to go by.
B squared was worse. But I have to admit, Edwards Going Left was not good, considering Shades of Victory was 80 to 1 to win the E.B. Johnston that day. Let's get to Shades of Victory, who completes this field despite the fact that the blinkers are coming off. Don't you think that Shades of Victory stretching out can at least be part of the pace picture, sitting third, prompting the pace, if not outright going for the lead, and that opens things up for the true closers in this field? The last time he went 2 turns against Calbreds, he pulled off that shocking win.
Yeah, to be honest, if I'm the connections, the instructions are clear. You're going to the lead. Make the lead at all costs, because I don't think this horse has the ability to sit off and win. I think you got to go. You break from the outside. It's a short run into that first turn. Use as much as you need to early on, and make the big horses make a decision, make a call. Are you really going to go out there and duel in the front, or are you going to be content to sit back, let this horse go? And look, again, we saw what he did at Los Al. There's no reason to believe that that's not totally out of the realm. I don't like his chances, but that's how I'd ride him. I'd go.
After the E.B. Johnston, they threw him to a big wolf named Accelerate in the Awesome again, and I wonder if he's just been sulking since then, because he hasn't seemed like the same horse. Beaten last time out at 1 to 2 at Turf Paradise, where he actually finished 4th, and the 5th place finisher came back and he got beat at Turf Paradise with a 66 buyer, but we've seen him pull off shocking upsets in the past. Let's see who we go with our top selections in the Tiznow Stakes, the Sunday race of the day. You've got the rail with King Abner. I'd try to at least put him on a send. If the long shot wants to go, great, but I'd try to establish position from the 3.
And that's the way that I looked at this. I just think, again, so much of this plays into just how are you going to go and how do you line up? You break from the rail. Your main competition break from 3 and 4. If you have questions about 2 turns with the number 4 horse and you don't know about the 3 horse coming off that layoff with the scratch situation, I think you go, if you're Tyler Bays, and say, come and catch me. I'm in good form right now, getting back to what this horse wants to do, 2 turns on dirt. And again, that early position, boy, 2 turns at Santa Anita, you don't want to be coming from too far off of it. Go, break, go on with it. I like him quite a bit in here.
Hoping John Sadler can have Edwards Going Left ready in his 3rd start of the form cycle. It's not like we're asking him to go a mile and a 16th, a mile and an 1/8. We're asking him to go a mile. It's pushing it to be sure. But I'm hoping if the 1 and the 3 and the 5 push the pace a little bit, Edwards Going Left sitting in the catbird seat, ready to attack turning in the stretch. I'm going 4-3-1-2. Give me numbers again.
1-3-4.
Fun race, the DRFBets Sunday race of the day. It's the Tiznow, kicking off the late pick 5. You can bet the late pick 5 at the Great Race Place with a DRFBets account. Sign up, double your action. DRFBets, ready, set, bet. Approximate post time for the Tiznow, 2:30 Pacific. Best of luck.